On May 24, 2019, Jennifer Farber Dulos, a mother of 5 from New Canaan, Connecticut, dropped her kids at school and vanished without a trace. Her disappearance unraveled a web of domestic abuse, privilege, and psychological warfare that ultimately exposed the dark side of a seemingly perfect life. More than 5 years later, the Jennifer Dulos case remains a haunting reminder of how coercive control, psychological manipulation, and the failure to recognize warning signs can culminate in a tragedy that shocks a nation. Jennifer was born into privilege in New York City in 1968. She graduated from Brown University and earned a master's degree in writing from NYU. Jennifer was not only a devoted mother but a gifted writer who once blogged about parenting for Patch.com. Her marriage to real estate developer Fotis Dulos, however, was anything but idyllic. Jennifer Farber Dulos missing was not a headline anyone anticipated in 2019. She filed for divorce in 2017 citing emotional abuse, coercive control, and threats to her safety. Her court filings painted Fotis as controlling, manipulative, and dangerous. Jennifer once wrote, "My husband has the psychological capacity to take the children and disappear." These words would prove eerily prophetic. May 24, 2019, the last morning 8 a.m. Jennifer drops her 5 children at school. 8:05 a.m. Last seen via home surveillance entering her New Canaan home. 7 p.m. Reported missing by friends after failing to show up for appointments. Discovery. Her Chevy Suburban is later found abandoned near Waveney Park. Blood evidence, including large blood splatter and cleanup attempts, found in her garage. DNA matches indicate Jennifer's blood and Fotis's DNA are both at the scene. June 2019, the arrests begin. Fotis Dulos and his girlfriend Michelle Troconis are arrested for evidence tampering and hindering prosecution. Surveillance footage shows them disposing of garbage bags, later found to contain bloody clothes, cleaning supplies, and zip ties. By January 2020, Fotis Dulos is charged with capital murder, and kidnapping in the death of Jennifer. The state believes he ambushed Jennifer in the garage after she returned home, used zip ties to restrain her, drove her body in her vehicle, later transferring it into another, disposed of her body, which has never been found. On January 30, 2020, Fotis died by suicide while out on bail. He left behind a note declaring his innocence, but provided no clues about Jennifer's location. "I refuse to spend even an hour more in jail for something I had nothing to do with," Fotis wrote. His death left the Jennifer Dulos case in legal limbo, and robbed the family of a formal trial. Fotis's girlfriend, Michelle Troconis, claimed she didn't know what was happening, but prosecutors presented video surveillance of her disposing of evidence alongside Fotis, her DNA on bags and clothing connected to the crime, text messages and interviews revealing inconsistencies in her story. In March 2024, Michelle Troconis was convicted of all charges: conspiracy to commit murder, hindering prosecution, evidence tampering. She is currently serving 14.5 years in prison. Enter Kent Mawhinney, Fotis's close friend and former attorney. He was allegedly involved in planning the cover-up, linked to a disturbed alibi scheme, accused of helping in a possible gravesite on a property he co-owned. However, in June 2025, Mawhinney struck a plea deal, pleaded guilty to interfering with police, denied knowing Jennifer's location, served 11 months in jail, time served, with conspiracy charges dropped. More than 5 years later, Jennifer's body has never been found. In October 2023, she was officially declared dead. Police believe she was murdered in the garage and taken in her SUV. Her remains are likely disposed of in a yet unidentified location. Without a body, this remains a rare and tragic no-body homicide. Murder in the Dollhouse, the Jennifer Dulos story, by Rich Cohen examines her life, disappearance, and the psychological warfare behind the marriage. In the aftermath, Connecticut passed Jennifer's Law, named after Jennifer Dulos and Jennifer Magnano, another domestic violence victim. It expanded the definition of domestic violence to include coercive control, empowered courts to protect victims before physical abuse escalates.
Jennifer's family continues to seek closure. They've organized memorials and fundraisers in her honor, support for missing persons legislation, awareness campaigns around emotional abuse and psychological violence. The community still holds out hope that someone, somewhere, will come forward with the truth. The Jennifer Dulos case is more than a true crime headline. It's a story of love, control, fear, and the systemic failure to protect women facing domestic abuse. It's a call for better laws, earlier intervention, and deeper understanding of how violence often begins long before a single blow is struck. Until Jennifer is found, this case remains open in the hearts of millions, and on the desks of investigators who still seek her body and her justice. Is Jennifer Dulos still missing? Yes. As of June 2025, her body has not been found. She was declared legally dead in 2023. What happened to Fotis Dulos? He was charged with her murder but died by suicide in 2020. While awaiting trial, was Michelle Troconis guilty? Yes. She was convicted in 2024 of conspiracy to commit murder and other charges. What is Jennifer's Law? A Connecticut law expanding the definition of domestic violence to include emotional and psychological abuse. If you or someone you know is experiencing emotional or psychological abuse, help is available. Contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE, 7233.